The Palestinian militant group Hamas has carried out brutal acts of terror against Israeli civilians, and Israeli and American leaders are always keen to tell us how dangerous and evil Hamas is.
The inhumanity of Hamas.
I have no sympathy for Hamas.
That keep shelling Israel with thousands of rockets and mortar shells.
What if I told you that
Who's that?
Thousands of...
Wait, oh no, dude, look at that. You guys remember Ehud Barak, boys? Remember Ehud Barak? What was he? He was in the news recently. Why was he in the news recently, dude? Wait, hold on. Let me just think about that. What was he doing? Oh, that's right. Getting fucking snapped. Walking out of Jeffrey Epstein's New York apartment. I mean, but like he didn't know that Jeffrey Epstein was a fucking pedophile at that time, right? Oh, wait, that was many years after Jeffrey Epstein had been outed as a pedophile. And that's the reason why he was hiding his face as he was fucking walking out of the Jeffrey Epstein compound in New York. Oopsie. Oopsie, Ehud Barak. Nice of you to do that. Real nice. Shut the fuck up, you fucking bitch. Okay?
Rockets and mortar shells.
But what if I told you that Israel helped create Hamas?
Here comes the blood libel again. Yeah, dude. It's blood libel to say... Wait. Wait. Did you just say it's blood libel to say that Jeffrey Epstein is a pedophile? Or is it blood libel to say that Ehud Barak maintained a relationship with a known international sex trafficker Jeffrey Epstein? Which one of that is blood libel? Oh my God. I hope that was sarcastic. I really hope that was sarcastic. It has to be sarcastic. There is no fucking way. Okay, there is no way. That's got to be bait. How Israel helped create Hamas.
Officially, Hamas, which is the acronym for an Arabic phrase meaning Islamic Resistance Movement, was founded in 1987 at the start of the first...
Wait, that's crazy. Hamas was founded in 1987. And yet Israel has consistently through the 60s fucking destroyed Palestinian homes. That's so weird. So wait. Oh, hold on. So does that mean that Hamas had nothing to do with the actions that Israel took against Palestinians? Wait, what the fuck? No way, dude. No fucking way, dude. No way. I'm being sarcastic for those of you that don't comprehend it, because Israel will often try to justify untold acts of cruelty that they subject Palestinian people to, those people who they have sovereignty over. And they say it's because of Hamas, bro. It's because of Hamas. It's like, okay, I guess everything is Hamas, motherfucker. There you go. Yeah, everything is Hamas. Yeah. Pipe clogger, thanks, Mom. Have you no education, you liberal? Please stop.
Palestinian Intifada or uprising against the Israeli occupation, but its roots were planted much earlier. The Hamas founder Sheikh Ahmed Yassin was a half-blind, disabled Palestinian cleric and member of the Muslim Brotherhood. The Brotherhood had been repressed by the Egyptians in Gaza prior to 1967, but once the Israelis invaded and occupied the Strip, they didn't just turn a blind eye to these Islamists, they encouraged them. See, the Israelis, especially right-wing Israelis, wanted to undermine the power of the dominant Palestinian political force at that time, the nationalist PLO, at the heart of which was the secular Fatah party of Yasser Arafat, their bête noire.
بغصن الزيتون في يدي وببندقية الثائر في يدي.
By empowering Sheikh Yassin and the Muslim Brotherhood, Israeli leaders thought they could divide and rule the occupied Palestinians, play them off against each other. Secular...
FYI, blood libel isn't a lie. It's the conspiracy that Jewish people use Christian blood and Passover bread. Yes. But the blood libel is a lie, ultimately. It's like the lie that like Jewish people, it's whenever Jewish people are inappropriately subjected to conspiracy theories, like how they fucking eat babies or whatever the fuck. Okay, that's why abusing blood libel, which was used as a justification to fucking do pogroms in the past, upon Jewish people is inappropriately using that when it's something that like the Israeli government has done is one, inappropriate and anti-Semitic because Israel does not equal all Jews or Jews in general, and two, you are misattributing something that is like legitimate and real by comparing it to something that wasn't and very dangerous, harmful misinformation that justified acts of genocide in the eyes of so many people against Jewish people should not be attributed inappropriately to real things that the Israeli government or a specific Jewish person has done. That's really fucked up. Anyway.
Nationalists against religious Islamists. So in 1978, when Yassin wanted to officially register his Islamic Association, which was basically the precursor to Hamas, the Israelis were only too keen to help. Yassin built and grew a network of Islamist social institutions across Gaza.
Listen, motherfuckers, I don't require every Jewish person that comes in here to like answer for Israeli crimes. So please stop fucking trying to deflect away from the ongoing issue right now by being like, well, what about fucking Armenians? What about Kurds? What about fucking Cyprus? What about the Greeks? Like, dude, you're literally doing that same fucking thing that is unironically monolithic and fucking super annoying in a very stupid attempt to deflect away from the current occupation and current genocide that I'm talking about right now to this day, that's happening to this day. It is really fucking annoying whenever like every conversation that I have to have about like an ongoing conflict has to revolve around me going back in history every single time and repeating things that I have already said time and time again about the Ottoman Empire or the ongoing fucking Turkish imperialist endeavor as it pertains to the Kurds or whatever the fuck. It really fucking annoys me because like I've already talked about it. Go and find it on your own, okay? None of which, by the way, even fucking justifies what we are looking at. It is simply a way to deflect away from the actual issue that we're doing. So ask yourself, why are you running defense for an ongoing occupation and genocide? Why are you doing that? Why are you doing that right now? Ask yourself, is it okay for you to, I don't know, take up space and time from 38,000 people who are here to fucking learn? Because you're a selfish, idiotic piece of shit, you of course probably feel like, yeah, no, this is a worthwhile endeavor for me because you are, again, a worthless, pathetic loser. But please sit the fuck down for now, okay? Having said that, I again forgot. I think the reason people mention Kurds is that there's not nearly enough attention when Turkey literally levels a 100,000 Kurdish city to rubble. Okay, but when that is happening, I literally talk about it here on this broadcast. I have talked about it when Turkey was attempting to repopulate the northern Syrian corridor. I covered it non-fucking stop. So shut up, okay? Shut the fuck up right now. I have to literally repeat myself every fucking day because of this deflection. Here's another deflection, okay?
Schools and clubs and mosques, and Israel helped fund some of those projects. Most American politicians have no clue about any of this. Yassin wanted to officially register his Islamic Association, which was basically the precursor to Hamas. The Israelis were only too keen to help. Yassin built and grew a network of Islamist social institutions across Gaza, including schools and clubs and mosques, and Israel helped fund some of those projects. Most American politicians have no clue about any of this, although the former Republican Congressman Ron Paul once made this point on the floor of the House.
Hamas was encouraged and really started by Israel because they wanted Hamas to counteract Yasser Arafat.
Arafat himself told an Italian newspaper, quote, Hamas is a creature of Israel. He even claimed that former Israeli Prime Minister Yitzhak Rabin admitted as much to him, calling it a fatal error. Now, you might be wondering, why should I believe mad Ron Paul or the famously shady Yasser Arafat? Well, you don't have to. You can believe top Israeli and US officials who've basically owned up to all this. Brigadier Yitzhak Segev, for example, who was the Israeli military governor in Gaza and later told a New York Times reporter that he helped finance the Islamic movement. The Israeli government gave me a budget, he said, and the military...
Bro, this is straight out of the fucking white colonizer book, by the way. Like, oh, do you see a Marxist, or do you see a nationalist / potentially Marxist rebellion occurring? Well, pump the fucking fundamentalists full of funds so that, you know, they will provide a counterbalance, a counterweight to the Marxist movement that is happening. The CIA has done this throughout time in many different countries. It is literally the inception and foundation of Wahhabist extremism that is like the current iteration of like terrorism that you see around the fucking world. And the Israeli government did the exact same shit. Because, and I hate to say this, trigger warning to all the sensitive people out there, they operate like white colonizers in this area. Okay? And you can go all the way back to the fucking Roman era or all the way back to like 3,000 years ago. And you know, there was a fucking Jewish coin here. And that's why this land is justifiable for us. But ultimately, none of that excuses these sorts of fucking actions. Okay? This is colonization happening right before our fucking eyes.
Government gives to the mosques. Colonel David Hakam, who worked in Gaza in the late 1980s as an Arab affairs expert in the Israeli military, has admitted that the original sin was Israeli support for Yassin in the late 70s. But at the time, he has argued, nobody thought about the possible results. Well, Avner Cohen did. Cohen was the Israeli official who was responsible for religious affairs in Gaza for more than 2 decades, and who now says, quote, Hamas, to my great regret, is Israel's creation. Yeah, Cohen's words. He actually wrote an official report to his superiors in the mid-1980s, warning them not to play divide and rule in the occupied territories and calling on Israel to, quote, break up this monster before this reality jumps in our face. But no one else on the Israeli side really took the possibility of blowback seriously at that time. They never do they? Hamas has since killed far more Israeli civilians than any secular Palestinian militant group, and its leaders have been pretty viciously anti-Israeli and even anti-Semitic in their rhetoric.
لا مكان لكم بيننا ولا مستقبل لكم بين الأمم إنكم إلى زوال.
Sheikh Yassin would eventually be assassinated by an Israeli airstrike in Gaza.
Sheikh Yassin and its organization, the Hamas, are responsible to the killings of more than 400 Israelis. So the question shouldn't be why now. I think it should be why not before.
Why not before? Well, because before, Israel was actually nudging and winking at Yassin and co., building them up as a rival to Arafat's Fatah. The die was cast for blowback. Blowback, incidentally, that they decided to double down on when they assassinated Yassin.
You can hear the crowds.
Is that even true that Israel have a part in the start of Hamas, or is that just a lie? Dude, did you just watch the fucking video and see not only multiple accounts, but like Israeli officials at the time, like admitting to it? Is that not enough? I don't know what else you need. What other kind of information do you need to see? You literally need to see like money exchange hands or something? Or did you just not watch the fucking video? Like, motherfuckers be like, dude, why are you pausing so much? But like, I feel like if I don't pause and like go over the things that the video shows over and over again, people just can't keep up with it.
Chanting for Hamas, and any idea that this operation would actually suppress or diminish that organization seems to be ill-judged.
The inconvenient truth is that Hamas is in part a creature of Israel's own making.
And by the way, for the contemporary Hamas, if we're going to talk about Hamas right now, there is nothing better in the eyes of Hamas than Israel routinely bombing the fuck out of Gaza. Okay? Nothing justifies the bloodshed that they want to cause more than Israelis leveling like 15-story residential fucking apartments that feature like multiple media organizations and shit, or schools. It is crazy. It is crazy to me that this never gets mentioned. Just like American invasions and American interference, whether it be Iran or Afghanistan or Iraq has been a gift to the reactionary fundamentalist militant groups, because you're basically creating an ample ground for radicalization to occur by cutting off the futures of so many young men and women, and in some instances literally murdering their family members. Of course you are going to have an endless supply of people that are predisposed to radicalization. Here in America, we look to young white men on the internet getting called racist as a precursor to radicalization towards white supremacy. Okay? Like, we have the comprehension to understand that young white men could even be radicalized by mean words on the internet. So if you can fucking think about how white supremacist terrorists get created in the United States of America, then literally flex those same fucking muscles to comprehend why leveling your fucking school and murdering your fucking aunt and your uncle that didn't do anything, by the way, on their way home from the fucking market is probably going to fucking make you lose your mind and take up arms against this fucking violent, colonizing, oppressive force. Okay? This is at the heart of how ISIS was built. This is how ISIS was able to radicalize so many people. Same with the fucking Taliban. And it's always going to be the exact same. If you have an imperialist or a colonizing force in your country, you can't focus on bettering your life. You can't focus on anything else. You need to rid your country of that colonization problem.
An enemy that Israel spent more than 20 years helping to build up, and then spent the next 20 years, the past 20 years that is, trying to bomb, besiege, and blockade out of existence. The 3 Gaza wars fought by Israel against Hamas since 2008 killed around 2,000 Palestinian civilians and a dozen Israeli civilians. That's the real human cost of blowback. David Long, a former Middle East expert at the US State Department under Ronald Reagan, told journalist Robert Dreyfus, "I thought the Israelis were playing with fire. I didn't realize they'd end up creating a monster. But I don't think you ought to mess around with potential fanatics. It's a lesson both the Israelis and the Americans never seem to learn, though. And as usual, innocent people, in this case Palestinians and Israelis, continue to lose their lives as a result."
Like, look at that, dude. Look at that. Those are little babies, dude. What are they supposed to do? That's how you walk to fucking school. And there's Palestinian people in my chat right now. They'll fucking tell you their firsthand accounts of their parents dying or their fucking teachers dying. Like, this is why it's fucking insane to both sides of this shit.